Hi, I'm Lori and I love books. And today I have a huge book haul on April 25th, no, 24th, sorry. I went to Sedona, and you might be like, well, they don't have a bookstore, which is true, but they have stores that sell books. So the first one I went to was called Crystal Magic. They used to have a huge section of books. It's much more pared down now, it's much smaller, but I still did find some nice things there. So the first thing I got wasn't a book. It was a new headband, handmade with love. It says by Groovy Threads, and it's got little butterflies, and it's like or maybe a moth, maybe nighttime moths. So I thought it just was beautiful, and I'm hoping it'll be nice and comfy to wear. I also found some bookmarks there. And then these are art by Cheryl. And so it was probably a local artist. And they were not cheap. They were $15 each. But they look really pretty. And I love bookmarks. So the little hard to get them out, but this is the Bookshelf one, front and back, and then down here, little stack of books, and it says one more chapter, which yes, always. Oh, sorry, I got a hair on my nose. I got this one that has a kitty on it. Little kitty, and then like another night sky one. This one feels a little different than the last one. So the front and the back, and this feels solid, not like the cellophane that's there. The other one was all the way see-through, whereas this is just slightly see-through. And then the last one I got was a fairy one. So expensive, but I love bookmarks, so for me it was worth it, but I could see somebody else going $15 for a bookmark. Yes, 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 it is a rather expensive price for a bookmark, but I'll keep these for decades, hopefully. And so the last one is this one, fairy flowers. And this is like the last one where this is very solid. And they do feel like wood grain, but they're very flexible, so I'm not sure what their bottom part's made of. So I got those three bookmarks, the headband, and I did find one book. I'm not sure if it'll be any good or not, and it's Encyclopedia of Angels by Richard Webster. I thought I'd give it a try because angels can be very comforting. So, and it says it's the ultimate resource in getting in touch with the divine. So I don't know, but basically I will try. If I don't like it, to DNF it, to just keep reading and reading and reading and hoping it gets better. So that was one place where you can find books. The second place is the Sedona Library. It has its own separate building for their bookshop. So it's I would say 3 rooms. So you go in the main room through the entrance. That's like the fiction section, and then you go to the left, and that's the children's and classics section. And I think there's mysteries in there as well. Some other book, not my genre. And then you go down a little ramp, and there's a huge area for even more books. So it's got lots of books. I love going there and seeing their display at the bottom of the ramp, because it usually has lots of fun books. This time it was on Arizona nature. But when it's Christmas time and they're all Christmas books, I just think it's just the beautifulest or prettiest display. So I went there, and I did find some books. A couple that will probably be future series books. So, A Wrinkle in Time, the graphic novel, adapted and illustrated by Hope Larson. So I do want to reread the Wrinkle in Time series because when I read it last, there was only 4 books and now there's 5. So I do want to reread that series and probably do a series deep dive on that. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I read another book from Ransom Riggs that was like a prequel short story for these books, and so I really liked that, so I got this one because if I liked that one, then I'll probably like this one. This one, I don't know anything about it. It's just called Sapphi's Angel, and it says that 4 children have a mom who's a fine arts painter, and they're named after different paints. So there's cadmium, saffron, indigo, and rose. And Sapphi discovers she was adopted. So it should be interesting. And it's kind of tiny. So again, another book that I don't really know much about, but I'm willing to try. And then this one I've heard of before, but I don't really know anything about it. And that's The Train of Lost Things. Or maybe I'm getting it confused with a different train book. Probably. I don't know. And it says on the back, it all starts from that one little moment, that one little what if. So, but it does look very pretty. And this is by Amy Joan Paquette. So, another very interesting book. And then they also have a lot of thrift stores in Sedona, or at least 2 that I know of, that are connected to their Humane Society. So I went to one because I saw a bunch of books outside, and I found 4 books there. This one I'll probably read in wintertime, and it's God Gave Us Christmas, and it's got polar bears on it. And it says that little cub's wondering who invented Christmas. This one is The Owl and the Pussycat, James Marshall, Edward Lear, and it just looked like a very silly book. All of these books, because they were children's, were $2. So, $2 a book. I have read this poem before, and I do want to read the complete works of Edward Lear at some point. I don't know if I might have found one and just forgot I have it. The Three Bears Holiday Rhyme Book. So, and there's Mother's Day, which is coming up. So, that should be an easy read. And I do want to go back into poetry. I do regret that I gave up most of my poetry books. I would like to get back into that. And then this one is Thisbe's Problems by Lorian Scott. And it's got a hummingbird on the back. Little Thisbe, so I did say that right, adores animals of all kinds. Going to the zoo is one of her favorite pastimes. But then she gets sick. So it sounds like it should be an interesting book. Maybe just a one read, but like kind of interesting artwork. So those were the books I got Friday in Sedona. And then Saturday was Independent Booksellers Day, which is one of my favorite days. And so I went to Flagstaff downtown, and their bookstore is, and I got a bag too, is Right Side Books Shop, and I got a lot from there. So I was still thinking of my black kitties for my shelf, for my 3rd bookshelf, and I found a black little dragon. It's a keychain as well. I'm not sure the black is working though. It's more of a grayish black than a dark black, but I thought it would be very cute to have a little dragon. But I might also use it as a bag charm because I lost my other bag charm. It disappeared, and I don't know if the cat took off with it or if I just lost it when I was out and about. So I did find a lot of books at Right Side Books. Sorry, yeah, sorry, Bright Side Bookshop. So the first one is Bookshop Cats. I got it because it's kitties. Okay, so it says it's a collection of, I guess, short stories of different kitties and their bookshops. So this kitty is Hugo, and his bookshop is Analog Books Inc. in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. So should be interesting. I don't know if this will be part of the collection or if it'll be part of the Read and Let Go. I'm sorry, I was dusting and it's very dusty now. So then the next book is graphic novel series, Witch Hat Atelier, Volume 1 by Kamome Shirahama. So sorry, I wish I could pronounce names better. And then this is about Coco, who wants to learn magic. And then Coco is trying to figure out how to teach herself the witch's way. So, yeah. Graphic novels are always fun to read. I'm glad I got into that one. Then I got the Poetry of Flowers, edited by Samuel Carr. I like the cover, and then the artwork and the poems. So I think that'll be another one I really enjoy. And then I found Thistle Marsh by Moria Corrigan. Another book I don't know anything about, but look at the cover. Look at the cover. The cover's gorgeous. And then it says it's a ramshackle estate where an impoverished orphan and a beguiling fairy collided in an enchanting novel of love, revenge, and ruin. So it does sound very exciting based on that. And yes, there's still more books. I got My Neighbor Totoro. I've not watched the movie, and so now I'm like, do I watch movie first or read book first? Movie first, book first. I think movie first, but I'm not positive. Which would you choose? Movie first or book first? It's possible I have seen Totoro and I just am not remembering it, but I'm remembering all the other ones pretty well. So, like, I remember the raccoon one, which I watched as a child and didn't quite understand what was going on, and I thought they were chewing bubblegum the whole time. And unfortunately, some adult here on YouTube explained what was really happening, and I'm like, oh, I like my bubblegum theory much better. This is Chasing Dreams, How to Add More Daring to Your Doing, written by Kobe Yamada, and it's recommended for ages 99 and younger. I'll have to let go of it if I ever turn 100. Cute little animals doing cute little things. So I think this will be another fun book to read. And then, okay, I think we'll save that one for another time. It's a little surprise. The last one is, oh no, I got this one at Hobby Lobby. And it's Proverbs for a Cat Lover's Heart, inspiring stories of feistiness, friendship, and fun by Jennifer Marshall Bleakley. I don't know anything about it, but it's got a cute kitty on the cover. And that's the standard. So I didn't mean to do this one yet, but we did. So back to Bright Side Bookshop. I did also find a couple of stickers. They are very cute. They have little X's on the back because they were on the discount shelf. I got a free bookmark, which bonus. And then because I bought a book, I got a free mystery book. And they have quite a selection. This is a YA fiction, coming of age, San Francisco social commentary. Let's see what I got. Estella and Drowning? And it's by Renee Penagovia, a Chicano writer. So it's a nice cover. It's about Estella going to one of the most exclusive public high schools, and she's in her senior year. She entered a poetry contest and wound up in second place, and her family's being threatened with eviction. So it sounds like a very good, different book for me. Like something I wouldn't have necessarily even gravitated towards on the shelf. And so that's it good. And then that wasn't all. I went to another used bookstore that is also independent bookstore called Bookman's in Flagstaff. And I got a whole other bag of books. I was quite in the book buying mood. So, and these were various prices. So the first one I got was Pablo Neruda, Poet of the People, by Monica Brown. I just thought the cover was nice. And like I said, I want to go back into poetry. And I thought it would be a very interesting one. This one is Jabberwocky. So Alice in Wonderland. Poem by Lewis Carroll, is illustrated by Charles Centauri. And I didn't have this edition. The Jub Jub bird on the back. Very interesting illustrations, very different than the Graham base one. An even bigger Jip Jip bird. I don't want to show the bad picture. Oh, here's one. So I think this will be very fun. It might even become an Alice in Wonderland Reads book club selection over on Goodreads, which is what the book club I read. Okay, just pour out the rest of the books. And if you're wondering how much all these books cost altogether, I didn't pay attention. So this is a sticker book that I'm just going to use for my book journal. And it's got flowers, it's cottagecore, an idyllic collection of cozy stickers. They had a second one that I didn't like as much. I forget what it was called. But it kind of came across more like for goth people, whereas this is more like literally says cottagecore, which is my favorite style. So I did get a book of the complete works of Edward Lear. So this was the author I wanted to read the complete works of, and I have a copy of it. And then it's edited by Vivian Noakes. And I know of The Owl and the Pussycat. I'm not sure I've read any of his other books, but here's like an alphabet one. Or, I guess poems, I would say, instead of books. That's, and, okay, I don't think. Okay, so there's a lot of alphabet poems. So, A was once an apple pie, pitty witty, titty pitty, nicey, insidey apple pie. I'm not sure I'm going to like it, but I'm hoping I will. Then I found Blackberry Ink, Reading Rainbow book. Pictures by Hans Wilhelm. Poems by Eve Merriam. And So I definitely have a lot of more poetry books than I had before. And then the last one is Leaves of Grass, Illustrated Edition by Rockwell Kent. Oh no, that's the illustration. It's by Walt Whitman. And I know I've read other poems by Walt Whitman, but my memory is not the best. So if you ask me which ones, I'd be like, I'm not sure. Song of Occupations. So a lot of poetry books for me to read on my TBR. So those are all the books I found during my recent book shopping haul. And let me know in the comments below what new books you have. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, have a lovely time reading. Bye!